What is up, everyone? John Grimsmo here. I got a shop tour for you guys. I love shop tour videos. I know you love shop tour videos. I think it's finally time that we do a shop tour video. So, this is our new shop. Come on. Alright, we're gonna start up in the top corner, boring area. We've got our little, I guess it's an office area, but we don't use it as an office. Mini fridge, microwave, little desk that came with the place, bottle of sriracha. This is like our lunchroom. We don't eat in here really, but a little bit of shipping and photo booth stuff right there too. Nothing fancy, but still take some pretty good pictures. Yeah, we could utilize this room a lot more. We just haven't yet. Top landing area. Again, not really utilized yet, but I don't want to fill it with clutter if we don't have to. Unfortunately here there was a big locker that we painted around and then we sent it away, so it hasn't been fixed yet. We've got some artwork. This is actually a sweet picture that my dad took. He's a pretty awesome photographer. This is Mount Baker in Northwest Washington. We used to live pretty close to there. I have actually hiked to the top of this mountain when I was 15 years old. Very proud of that. Eric's here! So we got Eric, we got our shop dog, his dog Falcor, who he's had for a couple weeks now. Just doing a shop tour video. So this is the layout from this corner. We've got our Breaking Bad yellow railings. Our new baby, the Mori Seiki Duravertical 5100, 2014. Very proud and impressed of that machine. I mean, we've spent many years working up to something that amazing, and we're both enjoying it thoroughly. So I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I mean, as you saw probably from the other shop video, we epoxy painted the floors. This place was an absolute dump before, but we made it pretty BA. The paint goes a long way. You know, we painted all these floors, and Eric did most of the painting. Who am I kidding? We sprayed the walls. You know, the only thing we haven't really painted is the railings here. All right, coming down. One project that I really want to do is, this is the drain for the shop, and it's gross. So I want to machine, hey puppy, I want to buy a big piece of steel or stainless or even titanium, this is probably 1/4 inch, and machine our Grimsmo Knives logo as the drain holes into that. Yeah, probably titanium would be the best. That's a lot of titanium though. And I think that would be pretty epic. Maybe 3D machine it or something, do something really cool. So I want to do that. Yeah, front door over here, little water heater, tiny little bathroom, but that's all you need. Boring. So, shelving unit that came with the shop. We did have it powder coated yellow to match the rest of the stuff. We're starting to fill it up with all the old junk from the old shop that we don't actually use, but we couldn't bear to throw away. We got the heat treat oven there too, and haven't used it much yet. But I think we did have the electrician. Yeah, we had the guy put a plug there so that we can utilize it. I don't know if we'll actually keep it in the shelf to use it. I know when you open the door, the heat goes up and could cause a big problem. I don't think they recommend that. You can have it on a counter, but not in a shelf, I think. Yeah, a bunch of water jugs for the coolant on the mill. Summer tires for my car. This is Eric's surface grinding and tumbling arena. Tormach CNC surface grinder. Still love this thing, it works great. Although, I don't think they ever put the belt attachment into production yet. We got their one prototype, and I don't think they've produced it yet. Belt-driven surface grinder is the way to go, unless you're shooting for like super critical tool and die tolerances and flatness and all that. But for knives, belt is totally the way to go. However, Eric is mentioning that the particular way that they design the tensioning thingy is not very good for adjustment and all that. So he's tempted, and he's used the 1x42 belt. Eric's tempted to build a different attachment that uses a 2x72 belt, like our grinder upstairs, that tracks more normally and easier. And then he's got a 2-inch wide belt to play with. So he might do that. How do you like our dust collection filtration system? It's temporary, obviously. We've got some better solutions in mind, but you do what you can at first until you can do better. So our tumbler over here, if you remember, about 1.5 years ago, we did a video where this actually broke. The crankshaft in the middle snapped in half, so we had to make a new one. So that's pretty cool. This was about $800 from Northern Tool in the States. And it works well until it breaks. We were at CMTS a couple months ago, which is a Canadian manufacturing tool show or something. One of the biggest shows, certainly the biggest show in Canada, I think, for CNC and tool stuff. And we saw the coolest tumbler that was, probably about 4 times bigger than that in both volume and foot space, but it was silent. Like, this thing is loud, and that one was, you walk up to it, you're like, no, this thing's not running. I can just barely hear it. It's all insulated, it has a nice lid, and it's all that. I mean, this was $800, that one's $8,000, so it was a bit of a difference, but it's certainly on our wish list as we start doing a lot more work. All right, let's go upstairs. I'm going to save all the fun CNC stuff till the end, just so you guys have to see the whole shop first. Eric got these cool tool benches from Canadian Tire. It's his kind of messy setup area.
So what happens when you're not up there very much right now?
Yeah, Eric's spending all his time on the CNC stuff, so he's not up here. Piece of copper niobium superconductor that we got at Blade Show. Got to find a cool use for this. Pretty sweet stuff. One thing, I'm filming it with a GoPro right now, and you can't get that close, otherwise it just goes blurry. Still not sure where the distance is. I got some cool macro lenses for the GoPro, that's awesome. So we did this Rigid Air Max line, blue hoses all the way through the shop. Cheap, amazing, totally recommended. This is a fantastic kit. I don't know if you can see it. If you zoom in, I can't zoom in with this camera, but that box right there. We got it locally. It was $250 Canadian, no, $200 Canadian for a box with like 100 feet in it or 50 feet or something. And we got 2 kits, and we used like 1.5 of it for this pretty big shop. We went up, around, all the way around, and then down, and the air compressor's right under the stairs, and it goes all the way around. So it's a big shop to go all the way around. Another one here for Eric. It's got the arbor press, the grand surface plate, some rinsing stuff, hose. Eric had the pretty genius idea of mounting the buffer to the wall. Actually, I think it was my idea, but he did it. And it works really good because with the metal floors in here, it vibrates and shakes a lot. So to mount it to the wall worked really, really fantastic. And then the grinder over here. Belt setup. This is the grinder that we built ourselves. We also have a video on that. It works quite well. And yeah, so here's the view. Sexy tool changer on the Mori. Tormach's hiding behind there. Yeah. Alright, coming down. Did you get the steel that you needed?
I did. Well, it looks like they haven't had lunch yet, so I actually got a plastic bag.
Ah. Yeah, they always send us these, like, where'd you go? these frozen dinner boxes for the metal. So what are these going to be?
They will be these out of 1018.
All right. So you first used 4140.
Yeah.
But what was the?
It warps quite a lot. So doing one side, it warps, and then I had to flatten it all out, which was kind of a pain. And then doing the other side, it warped again, so I'll have to flatten them out again to get them to work right. So hopefully 1018 won't warp as much, and if it does, oh well, we tried a different one.
Yeah. So this part's pretty awesome. I designed it in SolidWorks quite a while ago, but Eric pulled it into Fusion and he coded the whole thing. He did all the cam work on it, picked all the tools and tool paths, and machined them all himself. And he's made quite a few of them. It's a slightly different design. And then this one too, really gorgeous tool paths on that thing. Yeah, you're having fun.
I am. CNC is awesome.
Yeah. Welcome to the Thunder Zone. Thunderdome? I forget.
Yeah, well.
So for the shop, I got a laptop just like that one, because I needed a shop computer. So I got that, and then Eric, a month later, he's like, I want one.
Well, I started playing with Fusion, and it was too much fun.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep on stealing yours.
There you go. Fair enough. So yeah, now we have two identical computers, and it's great. It's really great.
And just doubling up the workload.
Yeah.
You know, we can work on two completely separate things at the same time. And
Right. We're not waiting for each other anymore. I think we were a lot before.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet. Anyway, so these clamps will grab onto the Rask handle blanks, the new knife we're making, titanium blank, and this will pinch it down onto a fixture so that we can do all the backside machining first. And I think that theory will pan out. I think I need to replace my battery here, so give me a second. Fresh battery, filming round 2. Okay, time for the baby. We've had this since, I guess we got it late August. It's December 2nd right now, 2015. I think I'm in love. So, as I said, this is a Mori Seiki Japanese machine. They call it DMG Mori because the German company DMG and Japanese company Mori Seiki merged a few years ago. So it's called a DMG Mori, but those who know that it's a straight up Japanese Mori Seiki machine. All the components are made in Japan, and it's assembled in California at their new facility there. So it's like a Japanese American machine, I guess, but still with all Japanese components. And the Japanese do some pretty amazing stuff. So I mean, the quality of everything is intense. I wish the lighting was a little bit better. Other than that, I love it. I mean, this is the only light that's in it. We installed that guy over there, which helps a lot. If we had a couple more of those, then it would work great. So we've got 2 orange vices here, and if you don't know anything about orange vice and you use vices for CNC, then you're missing out on life, because these are pretty much the best vices out there, save for maybe a few notable alternatives, but everybody who started using these love them completely. I've also got the Carve Smart replaceable jaws. Now this is when I got these just after Orange and Carve Smart paired up and had a baby together, and mated the Carve Smart jaws with the Orange Vice, as an assembly. So basically, if you don't know what they are, they're quick change vice jaws. So all I have to do is undo these 3 cap screws, 2 turns, not even all the way out, just 2 turns, and then the jaw comes out. And then I could put these ones in here, I could flip them over, I could do other ones, I can, this one over here is one that Eric's been using to make those little clamps. It's got an alignment pin in the back, so it always aligns perfectly side to side, perfectly in and out, perfectly up and down. And they have like 0.2 repeatability across the whole thing, and it takes 20 seconds to change a set of jaws. And as well with these vices, as we're using on this side, we made these little fixture pins here, and we've got 2 more in the back that are just stored right now. But this way we can use the grippers of the center cartridge. So it's a tapered gripper there and a tapered gripper there, and maybe Eric can find my fixture. But we can use the pins to put a fixture down and the grippers to pull it flat, and have super quick change fixtures that can span the entire length of the vise, which is sweet. That's a big reason why I got these vices. Yeah, here's a little tester that I made. This makes a set of Norseman handles, and we have the 2 big holes by my fingers are fixture holes, like fixture pin holes, and then the tapered dovetail section front and back, so it just plops on. And this is obviously a very, very tiny example of what we're talking about here. Another one that we did here is more the full size, 2-inch thick, 6 by 20, like that. So those replaceable jaws or replaceable fixtures are going to be epic. And then long term, if we have big runs that we need to do, we can fit easily up to 5 of these vices side by side along the whole table. Now, they're not cheap. I mean, that's a $2,000 vice just by itself. So it adds up. Yeah, we have been using the heck out of this machine. After much deliberation, we decided to get the chip conveyor to go with it, which lets, like the Mori has these chip augers in the back. There's 4 of them, and then 2 over there. And I think I can turn them on. Maybe I have to do that. Yep. Anyway, I could turn it on, but I have to take the machine out of e-stop, which is not a big deal. Done. Then you gotta open and close the door, it says. There we go. So basically those chip augers rotate, bring the chips forward. If we turn on the interlock release here, then I can move the table backwards. I think you can also go. I never use these buttons. Anyway, I just use this. But yeah, so that brings the chips forward into the chip conveyor. Chip conveyor travels like so. Over to here, and then they come out and dump into our little bucket. What else did we get? We got the Renishaw TS27, which is the tool setting probe. So that lets us set all of our tool offsets super easy. It does length and also diameter if you come in and touch on the sides of it. And it's got a little breakaway section in there, so if you do crash it, then it'll break the breakaway but not break the whole very expensive setup. Eric's making a lot of noise up there. So it occurs to me, maybe it's quieter right here. It occurs to me, I mean, this is a industrial, like, aircraft medical automotive kind of big deal kind of machine. And a lot of big shops have them, and they might have several of them. I know Tesla Motors has at least one of these because I know the machinist that runs it. I know I name drop that a lot of times, but I think it's fun to know a guy who works at Tesla. I think that's cool. My point is, there's very few videos out there on this machine. There's a lot of Haas videos out there, which is great, but my point is that very few guys are out there talking openly and honestly about what it's like to own a machine like this. And we have a very small shop, just the two of us so far. I think it'll be good for you guys to see what it's like to own a machine like this, going from our Tormach, which is great, and it's an amazing starting point, but to jump from here to there is like going from a Ford Escort to a Lamborghini. That's literally a pretty accurate comparison. So eventually I'll do more videos and like show the details of how the probing works and how, you know, what it's like to run a machine like this and code it and operate it, and very cool stuff like that. I mean, the size of the spindle on this thing, it's like, I think it's 8 inches around, like 8-inch diameter. It's huge. A typical Haas only has a 4-inch spindle. This has an 8-inch spindle, I think. I'm assuming numbers there. It's awesome. It is a beast of a machine. 20 horsepower, actual horsepower. Rapids are 1400 inches per minute X and Y, and 787 in Z. And the first, month or so of running it, it seems like an absolute lightning bolt. It's so fast, and starting to get a lot more confident with it, right? Like, now the Z kind of starting to look slow because it's a lot slower than side to side, but we're comfortable running it at full rapids once we trust the program.
Which is easy to do.
Yeah.
The tools are all set, and they're just, you can turn it on, hit go, and it all just works.
We keep saying that like 100 times, like, holy cow, it just works. You set a tool, it just remembers it perfect, and it just works. And one of the coolest things is, because they're servo motors and it's a big fancy machine, it remembers the position perfectly. Like, on the Tormach you have to home the machine and then trust that the home switches are accurate enough. This machine, you don't even have to home it. You go home, I hit the E-stop a few minutes ago while we were filming, and then normally that would put the Tormach a few thou out, and you just have to home it and it's back. But this machine just knows. In the morning you come in from the day before, the whole machine's powered down and everything. You just turn it on, hit the E-stop, hit the on button, and it knows where it is. And I briefly read about it. It's something about the servos. So the servos have encoders on them, and there are actual home switches for like disaster things if you need to home it. But as long as the servo is within one rotation of where it was before, then it knows its count or something like that. I don't know. It just works. That's all I know. I'll call up a tool for you guys. Turn it on. It's complaining about something. Oh, my key was on there. All right. So much reflection off of this glass that it's hard to film. You want to help me? Yeah. All right. How about you call the touch probe? So we'll show you guys how he does this. Start from scratch. What did you just do?
I went to MDI screen.
Okay.
And then T50, M6, end of block, insert.
And then cycle start. Boom, tool change. It's got a really fast tool changer. Go back just for fun.
What tool is in there?
It'll say right beside it.
All right.
Sweet. Okay, bring the probe back so that I can like look at it close. And you get to know all the little code things, and you just memorize them, or we have them written down.
Yeah, this is wonderful for me.
Yeah.
I can just, because I get worried that I didn't remember it correctly,
Of
so
course.
I can always just look at it, proof it, make sure I did the right one at the right time.
Yep, you need a little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
So this is a Renishaw cheat sheet that they actually sent us, and we printed it out and did some edits and stuff. But like there, to probe a center bore, you type G233A1 dot. You got to remember the dots on a FANUC control. Diameter and then offset, and then it's done. It just probes the hole, and it's awesome. So this machine, it's the Japanese are very particular and very safety conscious. That's why there's a little window, whereas the German machines have a big window and the Haas's have a big window. I wish we had a big window too, but they're very safety conscious. You can't do like anything that you're not supposed to do because there's safeties and everything. And you can't machine with the door open because it just won't let you. And there's some interlock stuff on the top that you can sort of bypass, but they make it really hard, and it's kind of illegal. So that's that. So filming is tricky because we can't just look through the glass because it's hard to see, lots of reflection and stuff. We can't just open the door like on the Tormach. It doesn't care. You just open the door, you get the camera right in there. There's not that much coolant. This thing spits a lot of coolant. So come on close to the probe here. Hit the jog button. So Cat 50 or Cat 40 taper, Renishaw probe. This is the OMP 60 wireless probe. There's a wireless receiver over there that it just sends signal to. Really cool piece of kit, and makes setup like stupid easy. So here's the difference between a Tormach holder and a Cat 40 holder. It's pretty incredible. It feels like a little toy compared to a big old Cat 40. So yeah, I guess that's a good intro for this machine. Life is good on it. I don't think we've had any major problems with it, except for a little. That chip conveyor was overloading the relay or something, so we had to tweak one of that. Other than that, it's so amazing. Like little things, like the guy showed us in the demo. When it's changing a tool, the arm goes, it grabs both the tools, puts them down, swaps them, puts them back up. The e-stop is so fast that it can stop that tool change arm halfway through. It's crazy. Whereas on the Tormach, it's like, especially with Mach 3, I'm not sure about PathPilot, it's a lot faster, but with Mach 3, you hit the e-stop and it's like 2 seconds later, everything's stopped. On this machine, it's like a millisecond later. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Eric, for your kind videographing skills. Let's see. So if you can't tell, I kind of love this machine. It's been a lot of fun for us. We've had it for like September, October, November, 3 and a bit months. We're making some really good parts. Lots of 3D machining, lots of profiling where we're trying to get, perfect finishes. There's a reason we spent so much and got a really good Japanese machine so that the parts we make turn out just perfect, because that's what we need. Our knives need to be perfect, so we need the best. On that note, I'll just mention the Tormach machines that we have over here. So we've had the, I'll turn this off just because it's kind of loud. So this is the Tormach CNC 1100. If you've watched any of my videos, you've almost definitely seen this mill. We've had this guy for 3.5 years or so, and it has served us very well. We've put it through its paces. We use it more than most Tormach owners do because it's a moneymaker for us. It's production. We've made 500 knives on it. And we could have made a lot more if we kind of structured our workflow a lot better, which we're trying to do now, so we realize what it was like before. But yeah, so I mean, we got all the bells and whistles that we need. We have the full enclosure, the stand, we upgraded the coolant system. So I've got a Rubbermaid tub with a Home Depot pond pump in it, a 1/6 horsepower pond pump that spits a good amount of coolant for this machine. You know, coolant filter, coolant gun up there. The coolant gun's a great idea, by the way. I really need to do that for the Mori. ATC with 10 tools. And here we have a Mighty Bite Vac Magic VM300 vacuum pallet changer. It's kind of stuck. There we go. It's hard to do this one-handed. So what this is, it generates a Venturi vacuum using air pressure to turn it into vacuum, and it will, using this seal, will suck down the whole pallet and make for easy pallet changes, which is pretty great. It does use quite a bit of air though, and that's kind of one of the downsides of it, in my opinion. So for any normal air compressor, it's just running all the time, which is kind of a shame. We've got Qualichem coolant in here, as well as in all of our machines, and it's my favorite coolant. What else can we talk about? The Tormach has been extremely reliable. There's been little hiccups here and there, and we've had to replace, like I put a new spindle in, and had to replace a few things here and there, but the cool thing about this machine is it's a DIY machine, which is awesome. You can have it in your garage. It runs on 220 single phase. The Mori is like 230 three phase, and the shop's 600 volts. Like, there's no way we could have done the Mori at home. Whereas the Tormach, we had the mill and the lathe and the surface grinder in a little garage in the middle of the country. And now they have their 770 and 440 machine you can run on 110 volt. It's pretty crazy. And any replacement parts, like, you can buy them for cheap on their website. You can replace them yourself. And it's a great machine for a specific, well, for a pretty broad range of people. I mean, aerospace guys are not going to buy this. You know, they're not going to buy 20 Tormachs instead of 2 Moris or whatever it works out to be. But for the right person, the right position, the right goals in mind, budget and all that stuff, the Tormachs, I still love these machines. Currently, as I filmed in another video, I've got a problem where the spindle turns off while it's machining, which is a stupid problem. But talking with Tormach tech support, they've hooked me up. They're sending me little capacitor resistor thingies that will, there's something wrong with the coolant output relay that's messing with it and causing a reset. So apparently I install these little things and then it's going to work again. And little stuff like that, like, it's not a hard fix. Debugging it and figuring out what it was is kind of a hard fix, but that's okay. So I'm looking forward to getting this thing tight and reliable. I just installed their PathPilot software, which I'm really looking forward to getting into and using, because so far it seems freaking awesome. I see a lot of similarities with PathPilot as I do with the Mori controller, the Fanic, which is great. Mach 3 was so legacy, so old. Anyway, let's move on. This is sort of our steel junk repository area. I need to wipe my hand first. Alright, shop vac, dust deputy. Everybody needs a dust deputy. Awesome. These are all the Rask handles that we had made. I think we had almost 240 individual handles, water jet and double disc ground, so that they're all 0.1250, with a pretty good finish. Sometimes we'll get them lapped, so they're a perfect finish, but for this knife we don't need that on the handles. We got the blades, thank you Eric, we got the blades lapped, so they have a literally perfect finish. And they even tumbled them for us, which is kind of handy. So yeah, 240 handles. There's a whole bunch of clips in here too. And the blades box is right here. No, maybe more. 240 knives, I think it was. Yeah. We wanted enough to make 200 knives. So we got about 180 or so steel blades, and then a ton of Damascus steel. This was about $7,000 in Damascus steel, which is a really cool forge welded layered steel. It develops these awesome patterns. Just Google Damascus steel if you don't know what I'm talking about. I've got some other videos of it too. Under here is another one of those orange vice pallets. It's pretty sweet. Let's see here. Ow! Oh, I just got splintered with metal. Or sliced. No, I just got sliced. Crap. Maybe I'll wrap this up soon so I can clean that up. Anyway, this sharp little bugger. Norseman clips. That was a cool little project that I did on the Mori. Tabbed everything out. This was an excellent project in precision and not power so much, but rigidity and accuracy and tool life. Ow, that hurt my finger. Tool chest. I'm starting to get organized. This is Kaizen foam from a company called Fast Cap. They're in Ferndale, Washington, which is coincidentally really close to where we used to live. Very cool foam stuff. So you can shadow all of your tools, and all the ones that you need and keep and use all the time, they have a place, which is really cool. And then also these bins, these are called Schaller bins, SCH Aller Corporation.com. These are cool. These are super cool for end mills and drill bits. We've got another set here for drill bits. Organization is key. Now, it's a little gray area to store your end mills like this so that they're all rattling and chattering together. I haven't personally noticed any problem with it yet, so it's been a bit of an experiment to see if they would chip or chatter together, but you know, most of them are fine. Like I haven't noticed a single problem with them yet. I have to say, I have to disclaim that it's not a perfect solution. I can't say for sure that this is the best thing in the world, but should work. So yeah, so we have quite a good inventory of extra end mills here. Almost all Lakeshore Carbide stuff. I love Lakeshore Carbide. We've been getting these shear hog end mills. This isn't a shear hog, but from AB Tools. They're in California. They're pretty big on Instagram. They have a really cool channel where they make custom end mills and stuff. We had them make us some custom end mills here, which I'll get into later. Their baby is the shear hog. Single flute monster. This thing removes aluminum like nobody's business. Apparently it can remove 6 cubic inches per horsepower. So on the Mori, we can remove up to 120 cubic inches per minute of aluminum, which is nuts. I've seen videos on Instagram of guys removing 80 or 100 inches per minute, cubic inches per minute, and it's just crazy watching it go. Yeah, and I've got all my Tormach tool holders in here. This is kind of my lathe junk drawer, extra lathe tool holders, lathe inserts. I've been stockpiling some lathe stuff so that I don't run out. Speaking of which, let's just head over there now. Table in the middle, random stuff. Here's this has been one of our projects. We did do a video on this, so it'll go up soon, of new bearings that we made. So we've been making our own bearings for 2 or 3 years now, but they've always been kind of annoying and time consuming. So we decided to redo the process using a different material, Delrin instead of nylon. And so we used them on the Tormach lathe and then on the Mori, and they're amazing now. They even have our name engraved on them. It says Grimsmo. Super cool. This is where we tend to keep all the knives in progress, if we do have some in progress. It's super handy because it can hold all the parts to a knife like that, we can number them and keep it going. Yeah, so we're making some Norseman stuff as well. Norseman blade here with some issues because the spindle kept turning off, like I mentioned. I'm trying to get a few Norsemen out the door, but Rasks are our main priority here. Yeah, and then the Tormach Lathe is the other baby. I've been using this a lot lately. So I've got the lathe with their prototype bar puller. They need to put this into production, or at least something like it, because it makes the collet awesome. Gang tool setup. I would like to get the turret eventually. So it's got 8 tools in the turret, and then I can still fit maybe 4 gang tools here. I think that would give me a lot more tools and a lot more versatility on this machine. And with that comes a full enclosure with a sliding door, and I can crank the coolant a little bit better. This comes with Path Pilot, and it's been rock solid, totally reliable, works great. I'm able to machine parts that I'm holding like 1 or 2/10 tolerance. So here's a part that I've been making using 17.4 pH stainless steel machines. Holy cow, so beautifully. And then I started using this guy because I tend to make so many test pieces, and they just kind of get jumbled around on the desk. So now I'm trying to keep them in order of test number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, so that I can kind of look back and see where it was perfect. But I don't know if you can see this clearly enough. Anyway, this will be the new pivots for our knives. A little bit bigger diameter, with the Viking head engraving on it. I'll do a separate video on these at some point soon. Yeah, so the lathe's been running great. We got a new air compressor as well because the old one was horribly loud. This is a Kaiser Air Tower 7.5C rotary screw compressor. Pretty quiet compared to a piston compressor. I guess Eric turned it off now. It's not silent. It's still loud, but it's only on for about 10 seconds. So that's pretty amazing. And it's fast and efficient and is big enough to power all of our equipment. I'll turn that on for a second. It's going to go for more than 10 seconds because it's only at 81 PSI right now, but... And then it sort of settles into that hum right there until it's all plugged up, pumped up. What else is up? And then Eric's desk. This table came in the basement of the new house that we moved into. So we brought it here. So tell us what's up. This is a shop update. Probably 45 minutes so far.
Yeah.
But hey, I know you guys love it. So, and you deserve it. Because we haven't filmed much. So I think I got over everything.
Yeah, I think so too. Awesome light.
I did not film that. That crazy bright light up there, which is a million times better than all the other crappy ones that came with the shop, is awesome. We got some energy rebate, government sanctioned thing that gave us a free light. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they came and measured them, and if they weren't efficient enough, then they would replace them for free. And apparently there's another one coming up soon, so they might come in and hopefully replace some more. Because if we had like 2 or 4 of those in the shop, we'd have more light than we could handle.
Yeah. Yay for Ontario small business grants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark without it, and it's daylight with it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. The other thing is, I know I've been teased a little bit in the past about using the cheap Chinese calipers. Well, we finally got some Mitutoyo coolant-proof calipers and digital micrometers and a dial test indicator. So we've joined the club now.
The big boys.
Yep. Yeah, okay, so spend 2 minutes talk about your computer and Fusion and stuff.
So yeah, as a lot of you know, I was not the computer guy before, and I just totally left that in John's arena You know, I always thought I was just a hands-on guy. You know, I tried making websites and stuff with my dad in the past, and it just never interested me. And every time I saw him working on SolidWorks, it always looked just so confusing and just complicated, and I just wanted nothing to do with it.
My default mode is to overcomplicate everything, so.
Yeah. But then he got, you know, we tried out Fusion 360, and I just started playing with it a little bit, and right away I was like, I can do this. And, you know, I have like 3 years of subliminal messaging, so like all the words were in my head, and now I just have a much better understanding of everything. So I've been playing for like a month and a half maybe with it, and I'm making parts, I'm designing, it's fun. I think Fusion 360 was a big reason why I'm actually working.
It is $300 a year for CAD CAM, for like the best CAD CAM package out there. It's awesome.
Or $25 a month or something. Yeah, $25 a month.
Maybe $40, I forget. There's several layers, but it's stupid cheap. Like anybody can afford it, and it's literally free for students and startup companies.
Genius.
It's ridiculous. And yes, it's a little buggy and it's pretty new. It's only been around for like a year, but they're updating it like crazy. It's nuts. But anyway, we'll do more Fusion videos coming up, but just wanted to overview that a little bit and say that it's been amazing.
Of course, got the space mouse from
3D Connections.
That's it.
Yeah, we each got one of those. I've got a third one at home.
I don't think I could do Fusion without it.
No, you can't do CAD CAM without it.
Yeah.
But like the first day Eric starts using Fusion, he goes, it's like a productive video game.
Yeah, I haven't played a video game since. Like I was playing Grand Theft Auto way too much for a little while, and now I'm just playing with this.
There you go. And now you have the ability to envision, create, and machine whatever the hell you want.
Exactly.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
and when we're talking and you're explaining things to me, I don't just glaze over anymore. Everything makes sense, and I know exactly what you're talking about and how long it actually does take to do all this stuff.
it's time consuming.
It's not as quick and easy as it can appear sometimes.
Right.
And
No, CNC is easy. You just hold the part up to the machine and say, make this. Yeah, right. No.
But yeah, you try to do one simple thing, and it worked last time, but for some reason on this project, it won't do it, and you have to figure out why. So it takes a lot longer, but it's good to know.
Yeah. All right, I should wrap this up because we're.
I'm ready to run parts. So.
Yeah. Well then, I'm not going to stop you.
Well, the noise and all that.
I'll get the compressor back up too. Anyway, that was our shop tour. December 2nd, 2015. We're in a good place right now. Production is just about to start, so it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Lots more cool stuff coming up. Eric's got work to do. Cheers. Bye.